Nice to know, because I think a judge has a certain persona, and who you are as a person is very important. I'd like to know if you have done any pro bono work, and if you have, what types you've done, who you've done it for, and what would be perhaps your most vivid memory or most important issues that you covered. What would they be?
We'll start with Randy.
That's an excellent question, because I think community service is one of the most important aspects of this office, because we are serving the community. I consider myself a humble public servant. Before I was appointed to the bench, I did a lot of pro bono work for certain organizations, the National Coalition of Motorcyclists, involving 1983 actions, where members of clubs were kicked out of bars and fairs and things of that nature for wearing their outfits and things of that nature, their jackets. I also did a lot of pro bono work, hundreds of hours, for charter schools. And thirdly, I was a CASA, a court-appointed special advocate for abused children. And I was a CASA for almost 2 years. I represented abused children in court in a voluntary, unpaid basis. So those are the three areas in which I've done literally hundreds and hundreds of hours per year of pro bono work, and I continue to do so.
Hi. Pro bono is a difficult thing, because by the charter of the County of Los Angeles, all county employee attorneys, district attorneys, public defenders, deputy county counsel, almost 3,000 lawyers are prohibited by the Charter of Los Angeles from doing pro bono work. I've been discussing efforts to change that with the CEO and president of one of the major nonprofit public lawyer foundations within Los Angeles. His charter prohibits him from endorsing, and I don't want to mention his name, but we're looking at an effort to take that and overturn that charter, and whether it's as a district attorney or whether it's as a judge, I'd like my legacy to have my name on that, so that we could overturn that and free up these public-spirited individuals to do public service in pro bono and non-conflicting roles. However, when I was in law school, I did represent a Guyanese immigrant who was seeking asylum and who was tortured to get permanent residency. And when I was in private law practice, I did represent underprivileged children who were being exploited by an artist who had mentored them and then was overtaking their work. And so I have done public service and pro bono work, but unfortunately, in my current last 15 years, I'm prohibited.
Thank you. Where do I begin? My pro bono work. Tomorrow I am doing a mediation. It is pro bono for a case that's pending in court that has to deal with insurance issues. Next Friday I'm doing another pro bono. I am a federal court settlement officer, and this is a case that, again, I believe it has to deal with insurance bad faith, and I'm going to try to settle it for the federal judge. Pro bono, in my community, aside from legal stuff, I formed a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, and this is in my community, which is Mar Vista. And what we do is we take care of government-owned lands, since the Los Angeles City has no budget in order to take care of them. And the other pro bono I do is I teach continuing education classes to attorneys. By this time, I have taught over 1,000 attorneys on elimination of bias, and these are 3-hour classes. I do not get paid for it. It's pro bono, and I do a lot more pro bono work. If you want to know, just ask me later.
The pro bono work that I've completed has been was a temporary judge program, over 400 hours devoted, and Elizabeth as well. The temporary judge program, you have your training, and then you sit another 4 or 8 hour sessions, depending on what you choose to do. The other pro bono work in my private practice, it was probably what I would call involuntary pro bono, where I would have clients that had a great noble cause, and they, of course, attempted to pay and couldn't, so I couldn't abandon them. And I have a CPA that says, no, you don't work on the accrual basis, cash pay basis. So I would consider that by my pro bono. I did a lot of work for the Benjamin Aranda Inns of Court, which is a mentoring association for attorneys, young attorneys, teaching them how to practice law with civility, ethics, professionalism, and legal excellence. We got our MCLE certification. I was past president and very involved with that particular club.
I am a deputy public defender, and as Alan indicated, we're prohibited from doing pro bono work. We're also prohibited from sitting pro tem, the different judicial things that they've told you that they're allowed to do. We're not allowed to do those things. I am very well connected to the community, however, and I volunteered with flag football as a coach for 2 seasons. I have done moot court with youth. I've done mock trials with youth in court, and I have been the children's department chair at my church for about 15 years and the choir director for 25.